You've been told bread is the foundation of a healthy breakfast, the symbol of energy, comfort, and tradition. But what if the very slice you've trusted for decades is silently aging you from the inside out? A 2024 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that seniors who ate one common type of bread daily had a 38% higher risk of cognitive decline. Even more alarming, 99% of adults over 60 in the study believed their bread was healthy. It wasn't. I first noticed this pattern with my own mother, 68, who swore by her multi-grain toast every morning. She said it made her feel light, but by noon, her hands shook and her mind went foggy. When we replaced that bread with something entirely different, her energy, focus, and skin changed within weeks. So what's really happening inside your body? Think of your blood vessels like tiny highways. Each bite of refined bread sends a traffic jam of sugar crashing through, choking your circulation, starving your cells, and quietly corroding your memory. Your morning toast may look harmless, but under a microscope, it behaves more like sandpaper on your arteries. According to researchers at Stanford Medical Center 2023, seniors consuming these modern breads showed 2.5 times more inflammation than those who avoided them. That inflammation doesn't just cause fatigue, it accelerates muscle loss, joint pain, and even heart decline. I've seen it too many times in patients who thought they were eating right. And yet, in the next few minutes, you'll see why one forgotten ancient bread, slow-baked, living, and probiotic, might actually reverse what modern loaves destroy. The bread trap hidden in plain sight. You walk down the bread aisle, surrounded by labels that promise health, multigrain, light, whole wheat goodness. But here's the truth few people know. Those words mean almost nothing. A 2024 report from Johns Hopkins University revealed that 92% of multigrain breads contain less than 5% actual whole grains. The rest, refined flour and caramel coloring designed to look healthy. I first met Robert, 72, a retired electrician from Ohio. He told me, "Doc, I switched from white bread to multigrain because my doctor said it was better, but my blood sugar's worse than ever." When we checked his glucose monitor, his numbers were spiking like a roller coaster. High, crash, high again. It wasn't his age, it was his bread. Think of your pancreas like an old engine. Every spike forces it to rev harder, sputtering just to keep up. Over time, that constant stress wears it down until one day, the check engine light becomes diabetes. The Harvard Aging Study confirmed it. Seniors eating these modern breads daily had 38% higher cortisol levels and weaker muscle density compared to those eating simple, single-grain loaves. Your body isn't the problem. The modern food industry is. They've turned what was once nourishment into a chemistry experiment, packed with dough conditioners, emulsifiers, and a compound called ozodicarbonamide, banned in Europe for a reason. It's not just a filler, it's an enzyme disruptor, making it harder for older digestive systems to absorb minerals. Robert's story isn't rare. After years of healthy sandwiches, he couldn't walk up his driveway without losing breath. He thought it was aging until he stopped eating his favorite multigrain toast. Within weeks, his morning sugar stabilized and the tremor in his hands faded. So the question isn't, should you stop eating bread? The real question is, which bread is silently breaking you down and which one could rebuild you? The forgotten science of ancient bread. For decades, we were told that bread had to be fast, fluffy, and convenient. But before industrial ovens and chemical dough conditioners, bread was alive. It breathed. And that living bread, science now shows, may hold the key to reversing decades of damage. A 2024 study from the National Institute on Aging followed over 2,500 seniors who switched to sprouted grain bread. In just 6 months, their vitamin B12 absorption rose by 34%, iron absorption by 31%, and bloating complaints dropped by over 50%. Dr. Sarah Thompson, who led the study, called sprouted grains nutrient keys that unlock what age has closed. I saw this firsthand with Evelyn, 64, a retired nurse from Arizona. She told me, "I thought my bloating and brain fog were just part of getting older, but 2 weeks after changing my bread, my stomach felt flat for the first time in years." It wasn't magic. It was biology rediscovered. Think of sprouted bread as a seed that's already begun to grow. Its enzymes awake, its nutrients active. Instead of fighting your digestion, it works with it, like a gentle hand guiding nutrients where they belong. Your body doesn't have to work as hard. It simply receives what it's been missing. The same is true for real sourdough, not the kind flavored with vinegar, but the slow fermented kind that takes 12 to 24 hours to rise naturally. A 2024 Stanford Microbiome Research Center study found that seniors who ate authentic sourdough daily increased gut bacteria diversity by 47%, lowered inflammation by 38%, and even scored 29% higher on cognitive tests. The long fermentation breaks down gluten and starch, turning bread from a trigger food into therapy for your gut. Evelyn said, "It's strange. I used to feel heavy after breakfast. Now I feel clean, light." It's as if her body finally recognized bread again, not as a burden, but as nourishment. Because the science is clear. It wasn't bread that betrayed us. It was how we changed it. And yet, what happens when we go back even further, to the bread that was once considered sacred? In the next few minutes, you'll discover a recipe so ancient, it's written in the book of Ezekiel. And now science is proving what ancient wisdom always knew. This bread doesn't just feed you, it restores you. When researchers at the Cleveland Clinic Center for Human Nutrition 2024 studied seniors over 65 who replaced their regular bread with Ezekiel bread, the results were astonishing. Within 6 months, participants showed a 45% drop in inflammation, a 22% decrease in LDL cholesterol, and a 34% improvement in insulin sensitivity. In simple terms, their blood vessels became younger. Their energy returned, their digestion steadied. I remember Tom, 70, a retired construction worker who'd struggled with high cholesterol for over a decade. He looked at me skeptically when I mentioned biblical bread. But 3 months after switching, his doctor cut his medication in half. Tom laughed and said, "All I changed was my toast." What makes it so powerful isn't superstition. It's synergy. Ezekiel bread combines sprouted wheat, barley, lentils, and millet, together forming a complete protein that your body recognizes like a blueprint. Each bite delivers amino acids, enzymes, and natural fibers that repair instead of react. Think of it like restoring an old house. White and multigrain breads are quick paint jobs. They hide the cracks. Ezekiel bread, though, rebuilds from the foundation up, cell by cell, wall by wall. A 2024 study from the Jerusalem Diabetes Research Center found that type 2 diabetics over 60 who switched to Ezekiel bread reduced their medication needs by 41% within 6 months. Dr. Naomi Lev, the study's lead author, described it perfectly. Ezekiel bread doesn't just lower blood sugar, it teaches the body how to handle it again. Tom told me, "For years, I thought feeling tired was just being old, but now I wake up before my alarm." And you can see it in his posture, his eyes, his steady hands, the quiet confidence of a man who realized his body wasn't broken, only misunderstood. The deeper truth is this: aging isn't just decay, it's adaptation. Give the body the right tools, and it doesn't just survive, it renews. And if one ancient loaf can reverse decades of damage, what would happen if we applied that same wisdom to everything we eat every day? When I look back at my mother's journey, it still amazes me. A woman who once felt exhausted after breakfast now starts her mornings with focus and lightness, just from changing her bread. No pills, no fancy supplements, just a return to what's real. And she's not alone. A 2024 Harvard Medical School study followed over 10,000 adults over 65 for a decade. Those who ate 100% whole-grain bread daily lived 3.7 years longer on average and had 52% fewer heart attacks. Dr. William Chang, the study's lead author, said it best: if whole-grain bread were a drug, it would be called a miracle. So the next time you stand in the grocery aisle, don't rush. Pick up the loaf. Feel its weight. Read the first ingredient. If it says whole, you're choosing more than a bread. You're choosing more years of laughter, more walks, more mornings with the people you love. Because every slice of real bread isn't just food, it's a message to your body: I'm still investing in you. And that single, quiet decision, repeated each morning, can rewrite your next decade of health, clarity, and strength. So tell me, what will your next breakfast say about you?